Moo and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pinktron. I am Brent Robinson. I'm joined today by John Keenan. John, what are you drinking?
My cat and I are drinking an athletic brewing company winter wonder
Excellent.
seasonal brown ale ish thing.
Yeah, yeah. Nice.
Is that good for cats?
I don't know if they like it or not. She seems to be very interested in it for some reason. So
And that is Stef at Jen. Stef, what are you drinking?
Trusty Fanta Lemon.
Excellent. And we also have with us Craig Martin. Craig, what are you drinking?
I've gone back to the well of the beer league case from Refined Fool, and I have my physical inactivity pale ale.
Well, that seems appropriate for a Zwift podcast.
Appropriate for my last couple of weeks. I have not had a lot of training. It's just time has not been on my side.
This is the reality of life. All right, I have a vanilla cherry sparkling water soda thing. It's very good. These are like my go-to non-alcoholic carbonated drink. They're great. I don't know. Speaking of things that are really hard if you're physically inactive, this week's HWR is 3 laps on the Toefield Tornado, which is one of the new New York routes. Now, there's some Easter egg about Toefield Tornado. I feel
I
like
think Toefield was a guy who organized races in the park. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
I assume the tornado part is the 3 laps
homage
around
to
the.
Al Toefield, legendary Prospect Park race organizer and Casino Cycling Club founder. So there you go. Yeah, so it's 3 laps of like a figure 8 around the Prospect part of the new roads. Well, I guess it's like I don't know, it's figure 8 with a little like a roundabout bit in it, which was a little weird actually.
3 laps of the roundabout every lap. So it's like 9 times around that, whatever that Arc de Triomphe thing is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It just shows up on your map as like a weird little flat spot, and then you just keep going around and around and around.
Mm-hmm.
There's one point where like the one
Import.
guy was like a kilometer behind us, and he kept not like turning off. He was just in our group. I'm like, how long is this guy just sit in here with us?
Yeah.
So
The big
yeah.
question is, did anybody get stuck looping around the roundabout?
Right, right. That
I
would be
didn't
bad news.
didn't
But
see
funny.
any chatter in the race about anyone not about it not working right. It all seemed to work right. So, and then I mean, otherwise, in terms of the race, basically, you well, you, so I know we like the lead in out of the Times Square pen is notoriously long and preposterous. This one's pretty bad. This one goes a long time before it starts clocking your kilometers on.
Yeah.
Mm,
It's not
I
as
didn't
far
even
as the
notice
other
that.
one, but it is, I think, about 400 or 500 meters at least. Because
Mm,
I mean, I was doing the normal like HWR start thing, and then you do go into a downhill. And I look, it's like my average is like 150 watts. I'm like, that's not right.
huh.
Because it just happened to be that was the first thing. But of course, it didn't count the first 35 seconds at 400 watts to hold the group, as inevitably these things start out at.
Yeah, yeah.
That, that sounds weird because those pens are quite short and you go into the loop pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think I think there's a pretty long like even if you look at the little weird map on Zwift Insider, there's that whole long like little lead out bit that goes in from the pens. I think it's pretty far before you make that right hand turn. But anyway, like I said, it's not as preposterous as the ones at New York Times Square, but it is still like noticeably long compared to some other ones.
I have to check. We did a ladder race a while back on basically this without the roundabout section. So and check my recording if it's
Yeah, and then you go down, you do the cut across part through the center sprint. I think that one's called center sprint is the first one. And then around the bottom in the clockwise direction back through the middle across the center sprint again. And then I guess like the bottom is the south part of the course is the bottom of the course. So as you kind of make the right-hand turn, you go to a climb, you go across the center bit, you hang a left towards, and then you do a climb up the KOM segment. That's sort of the whole feature of the course is basically there's like 2 climbs in the course relatively shortly back to back. So you kind of go up and it takes, like I was looking at my results and it was about just a minute-ish, maybe a little over a minute that you had to like be on the gas to hold the group. Then it kind of pauses and you go across through the sprint and you're onto the KOM and it's like another minute to go through the KOM basically to stay hot, to hold the group. And then you're into the 3 laps around the roundabout, into the lap banner, do that 3 times. So you got to make these climbs 6 times to stay in the group, or, you know, that's the objective, I guess. Just go as far as you can up the group. And yeah, it's a good fun race course, kind of fun to look at, I guess, except for maybe the roundabout's just a bit weird. You're just going in circles around this roundabout. Can't imagine organizing a race like that. I mean, it would be
A real race like
chaos.
that would be a little scary and
You,
chaotic.
you
I
just
think.
couldn't, because you're crossing, like you've got
Yeah.
riders crossing each other and you don't know who's getting off the circle this time. And how do you count how many times each rider's been around?
No, yeah.
Yeah, it
So
would be
yeah, no,
crazy.
I don't think it really would work with that sort of thing unless you did it as some sort of spiral with a bridge or something.
But here it was a little bit of HSRL because the last time we pulled into the roundabout, there was a fast group just coming up. I think it was probably their last lap of the roundabout. And it was like Chris Greenland and some other folks. And so 4 of the 5 of the people in my group all jumped on it and we dropped one guy from the last and kept
Yeah,
away
that is,
from him
and
for the
there is a
rest of the
little,
race. So
I think that's totally observant that that is a potential thing to happen if, depending on how the splits and stuff happen in the race.
yeah.
And you could also run into it in that center section, depending on like
Yep.
how people were coming off
Oh,
the
yeah.
climb or whatever.
In between, yeah.
Because we definitely had, like I said, in the roundabout, we had one guy who was definitely not on our lap with us. There's a couple other points where people, if they'd, you know, chosen to come on, could have come with us, but you know, they were obviously not at that desire to go that fast at that point in the race.
Yeah.
For me, I basically made it 3 climbs. I made it the first 3 climbs. The 4th climb I got dropped. It was a combination of a little bit of not very good tactics. Like I just didn't get far enough in the group before the climb started, so that when the pace went off, I didn't have a chance to, you know, kind of drift on and hold on. And then also being not as fit as the other guys and not being able to go fast enough to stay on the group. So yeah, I was dropped on the 4th climb, the 2nd KOM, and then got chased down by Paul Peggy and 2 other guys in a group. Although to be fair, not Paul. Paul actually was very gentlemanly to not chase down, but the guy, well, part of that might have been the guy in his group was like doing 4.2 in the front the whole time. I think the one guy just went the whole time, 4.2, 4.2, caught up to me, kept going 4.2. Then we just sat on his wheel till the finish. And then Paul left, started the sprint first, and then he got to the finish line out of our group fastest. And I just did not react fast enough to go with him to try and catch him. So fair credit to him for a good sprint and starting the move early. Yeah, pretty enjoyable race otherwise. How to look from your end, John? Do you get a group?
Yeah, it was fun. I think it was very dynamic. We had two guys that just came flying up. I don't know, we were probably just going into the roundabout section on the first lap, and these 2 guys came cruising up behind us and just started pulling the group. I don't know, maybe 3 of us at that point, pulling all of us very quickly ahead, and we gobbled up several other riders in front of us. And I'm looking at swiftracing.app now, and they were like 1 and 3 levels above our group. So we were all golds, and they're platinum, and I don't know what number 4 is. It's above amethyst.
Sapphire, I think.
Sapphire, yeah, sapphire. So it's like did they not get the brief on the start? Like, where were
Yeah, I
they?
was about to say that that sounds like classic HWR. Not you're in the wrong group, buddy.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
seemed
But
to
it was
happen
nice.
about every other race.
We
Like,
just started hoovering up additional ones and twos. So we were a big group of at least 8 by the time we got into that last lap.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was a pretty tight, and it was lots of like, oh, am I going to hang on to this group on this hill? Okay, I hung on. What about the next hill? I don't know. So it was one of those like right on the edge of being um, doable. So that was nice.
Yeah,
And then they
there was
all out sprinted me at the end, which I knew was going to happen because
it
in the
was a
words
really
of
big field, so I think that helped. Like it's at
yeah,
least
yeah.
80 on the screen, I think.
I saw like 94 or something at one point.
94.
I don't
Yeah,
know if
okay.
that was everybody was racing, but yeah.
Yeah, and like the front group when I got dropped, I think I finished 28th. So that front group was like almost 30. Um when they hit the third climb, so still 30 in the front group, and an HWR is a pretty big fast group.
Yeah.
It's like 30 riders above, Sapphire on Velo. So
A lot of ones and twos. Yeah.
yup. Yup. Shout out to Andy Kroll, who gets to beat me twice in a week.
Ha.
One place above me. I don't know. I had a little more gas. I guess I maybe could have tried to bridge up to them, but I just did not have it to do that. And there was a group of 3 behind me that caught me, so c'est la vie. Yeah, bike choices. I'd arrow like those climbs are very shallow. Like they're
Yeah.
climbs and they're a minute, but they're not even as steep as like leg snapper. So there's definitely no
Mm.
margin anything climby.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think I think the not KOM gets to about 6%, but they're both like 500 meters, 500 meters in length. So
Yeah, I'd be shocked if my speed went below 25 kph on any KOM.
Yeah.
Like
And there were lots of power ups, at least what, 4
Yes.
segments and the finish you got power ups on. So
Yep. Yeah, don't
Yeah,
forget you
so-
have power up at the lap banner. It doesn't really show up on the mini map too well, but
yeah,
you do get a power up at the lap banner. So I got pretty lucky actually. I got either feather or truck going into all the climbs, and then the only arrows I got was one at the finish, and I think on the pieces that went into the descent. So I got lucky.
nice.
Yeah, I don't think there's much else to say about HWR.
Wheels. I almost put discs on, and then I noticed nobody had discs on in the pen, and I thought, okay, maybe not discs.
I think it is disc.
You think it's disc? Yeah.
There's definitely a case for disc. I took the DT Swiss ones because I knew for me it was going to be the hill. Like I was going to have to go up the hill.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like that was just my rationale to give up whatever an extra half second over the rest of the course to maybe get a half second back to stay on the climb. I thought would be worth it. Turns out I needed 20 seconds, which you just can't get out of a pair of wheels.
You can't. Well, so, and I'm kind of
Or a
on
bike.
the, I don't know, just that extra little bit of, I'm not
Recovery.
putting power out when you're the rest of the time.
The whole race.
Yeah.
It's fair.
And if you are dropped and are solo for any point of time,
Yeah, or if you're in a small race with 25 people.
or in a small group, it's a more
Yeah.
benefit. Yeah. So. Okay. Yeah, heard beginner racing. I have not looked.
was about I just realized what is it? 2 bridges loop. It says 3 laps, so what is the split? Okay. above 225, three laps, under 225, 2 laps. So the two big highest bands get 3 laps, and the two lowest 2 laps.
Yeah, and so that's 225 is the break point between 2 laps and 3 laps.
Yeah.
So yeah, Two Bridges Loop, great race course. Pretty reasonable climb that half of hilly reverse. So
The steep half.
the steep half, but
Yeah.
it's short.
It's short. You definitely drop people. Yeah.
It's good. It's good beginner racing because you gotta, you're gonna have to practice making those little punches to get up those steep bits at some point. So
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And hang on for that nice
Yeah.
juicy draft on the way down.
And I've always found it's not quite long enough that most moves get away
Mm.
before the last lap.
yeah,
You might drop somebody, but you're probably not really getting away.
yes, that would be exactly my experience. Is that the back end can fall off, but the front end doesn't go away.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, and it's still like best all around road bike, really. Like
Yeah.
that Canyon Air Road, usually for low levels, is pretty reliable.
Yep.
Mhm.
Good. We're into the new, I think since we last time recorded, we're in the new Stampede, Craig.
We are. Wait, what did I choose? I forget.
2 laps of
Spin Infinity? No.
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 That was last week.
It's 2 laps
something in
of
Scotland. Lock
Yeah, it's Scotland. It's Lock Loop. Yes.
Lock Loop.
Oh yeah, 10 miles.
Yeah. 16K, the classic 10 mile. Little bit punchy, but pretty flat. So yeah, I think that should be fun.
Yes, everybody, let's end of year time FTP test.
Yeah. And we're gonna try something through the winter.
Oh yeah.
So we are going to try a 3-month total time. So I'll try and have the relatively similar duration for the 3. And yeah, total time across your best time for each of December, January, February. So we'll see how it works. I think I can do it in Zwift Power, but I won't really know until January.
Also, you might need to check the Sunday ones. I think those are leftovers with the old course. The Saturday and the Monday ones are correct, but Sunday ones are still on double span spin.
I changed them on Sunday, so yes,
Okay.
that was on my list of things to do today or tomorrow.
I will say full credit to the guys who are in B putting down like low 18 minutes on that course, because I rode it and I got like a 19:15 or something like that, and I thought I did pretty good on the pacing. Like there's definitely, definite points you should be like squeezing it right up those bridges. And like I was like 320 up all the bridges, like hard right to the end. I ended up averaging like 303 or 305 or something like that, which was like probably my best 19 minutes since the winter, like last winter. And like, so if you got like a 18, like I think the leader, Jim Becker, was like 18:01. He must have done like right on 4.3 to do that.
That's hard.
That's a very, very good ride and very, very good pacing. You can definitely die on those hills. Like you have to be strong up them still. All right. And then I think that's all we got for herd racing.
Yeah.
Yep.
How much was a puke fest was ZRL for you guys?
Oh my God.
Oh, wow. And I did it I was sandbagging in C. So yeah, Chris and I were in Indigo C, but holy cow, that was hard.
Yeah. Did you do it, John?
No,
Oh,
I'm thankful I did not this year.
yeah. And I guess like the first thing about it, of course, was the start was crazy.
Oh yeah.
Um, and it was full on right from the pen, 650 meters to the sprint line. I guess I'd have to go look, but like I don't know. I only got like 14th on the first. Well, that was 14th was probably about where I finished on average ish on the whole race. So I kind of finished about where I was in the field for the whole race on that first sprint. But it like the thing that was super interesting about it was like because if it's a ZRL race, it's a really big field, right? So every sprint was just this big, long, strung out thing, and then it would kind of
Mhm.
accordion back together, and then you'd hit the next sprint point, it would string all out again, then it would accordion back together. And I don't think we ever broke it down smaller than I think the front group stayed 30 to 40 almost in our B2 dev race, which I don't know if the ones or twos in dev mean anything or not, but um
Yeah.
like it was a good race. It was competitive. I did get as high as I think I had like a fourth at one point on one sprint. It's probably the best one in the middle there. And kind of those third, fourth, fifth ones, I was getting like four, five, sixes out of the field. But then I definitely faded back. I was only getting like 12, 13, 14s again towards the back end of the race. And then Sean was actually doing a good job and he was starting to grab top tens. He ended up grabbing ninth overall at the finish line. I was 14th, I think, at the finish line too. So but yeah, it was, and I like, I don't know, contested is the wrong word, but I like went hard on all of them to finish like up the field and everyone.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and you kind of have to because you're afraid of being on the wrong side of a split. And
well,
yeah,
it's like you got to go hard. You might as well go hard and finish up the field. Like, you can't really like to take
you might
50
as
or
well go
60
hard before
watts
the
off.
banner is after it.
Yeah, that's just it. That's just it.
Yeah.
Now, would it all have come back together in that big long strung out accordion? If I coast a little more, maybe. I know I read Eric Schlange's post about how he basically contested the sprint and didn't really contest um the KOM, but I don't know. I I think I would have been about in the same place either way. Like I don't recover that well from those efforts anyway to really have been that much faster on the next one. So
I
I'll go.
think it was lap 6. I basically took off.
And did you
Or
get
like,
away?
no, I took off as in I did not, I was just
Oh,
hanging on.
hmm.
And well, yeah, it had broken up by that point. So just hanging on to the front group. And then yeah, we attacked. Chris let us out at the end and it was good.
Nice.
Yeah. Because I think, yeah, the last time over Clyde Kicker, Chris was first, I was third, and Sid on our team was fourth. And then Chris let us out coming up that last hill. He ended up finishing sixth, I think. Sid second and me third. So yeah, we did really well. I think
That
we
is
would
really
have
well.
been probably first, maybe second in the race as a team if we'd had 6 riders. Somebody
Oh,
had
you
a
were short riders. Oh, that's too
somebody
bad.
had a connection failure at the beginning. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, we had a mechanical too. We had someone who
yeah.
dropped out and we ended up in fifth place, which was like we're eighth place in the
Hmm.
league, and that was kind of where we were. So we went from an eighth to a fifth
Yeah,
without one rider. So we probably could have got up to fourth, I think.
yeah,
Although they also look like they might have had one dropout, which is all part of Swift racing, a funny
yeah.
sort of way.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I probably haven't done one like that since we did. Like, when was the last time we did like a 20 laps of downtown Dolphin? Like last HWR, did we do something like that? Or a dozen laps of downtown Dolphin? I
We
feel
did a
like we
We
did.
did
bunch.
we did 12, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, I think a 12 laps downtown will be the last time I did like a real like sprint. challenge. Which of course is a much, much faster group than B development either. I mean, that's like, I will say, the development leagues are really, really a good, best things ZRL has done for ZRL racing in 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
It's really worked really well, I think. Because there's just a nice bridge between, like, we've got guys overseas, we got guys who are Bs. The races seem very, very competitive. Like like you feel like you're in the race. And I mean, it doesn't feel like there's one guy dominating each one. Like we had our top guy got like 1,118 points, and Sean and I were like in the high 900s, like 995 and 994 or something like that. And there were like 6 or 7 people between us. So, you know, you think in a race where the people are scoring 1,000 points, you have the top 7 or 8 racers all within 100 points. Like that's pretty even scoring all the way down the field.
Yeah, we were really close too. I think Chris was the top points getter. I think I was third. I was second for most of it until I took that lap. I was first or second. Chris and I and one other guy were going back and forth because I had the live points up from the Zen Master sauce mod.
Yep.
And yeah, it was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until I took the lap off.
Yeah, so really, yeah, like, yes, hard race, tough race, but
Yeah.
fun. So, all right. I think that brings us to the news, which news today is we talked a little bit about the Tour de Boudicca, which now we have a few more details on. So this event runs January, where's the dates on this? January 2nd to January 5th, a 3-stage race. And then the kind of the newsier part about it is that it will be running alongside something with Tour de Spartacus, which is basically the guys' version, same routes, same scoring and everything basically as them. So they're going to run at the same time, which is, you know, I mean, listen, I'm happy for there to be ladies stuff and all ladies stuff, but this looks like a really fun event. So one more thing to kind of kick off your new year and get in there.
Yeah.
Maryline has posted a sign up sheet in the Herd Facebook group. So if you are interested in doing this, get in there because there are team categories that we talked about last week for both. So you can get signed up, you can have a team, and like team racing like this, it's like ZRL kind of, except for this is even more individual because there's no team time trials or anything. But you know, it's always good to like learn team tactics, think about chasing down your teammate, all that kind of stuff. There's lots of interesting things that can happen. So, and it makes for fun chatter on the Facebook page and on the messaging apps after. So by all means, get in there, show up, sign up, and get in. I guess just real quick. Yeah, the stages are a scratch race on Southern Coast Cruise, which is 26.3 kilometers. So that's stage 1. Stage 2 is 3. Wow, they call them mini races. I guess we'll talk a little about what constitutes mini here in a second, but it's they leave off like really, I can't figure out how quickly they go off after each
So it
other.
looks like 15 minutes between the first 2 races and then 20 minutes between the second and the third.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the first one is 1 lap of Avon Flyer, which is 5.2 kilometers. The second one is a lap of the 6 train, which is 6.6 kilometers. And the last one is 20.1 kilometers of 1 lap of Spinfinity. So that's a pretty long mini race. That's a 25 to 30-minute race.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a standard Zwift race, basically.
yeah.
Pretty close. I mean, a little on the short side at 20K, but yeah.
Yeah.
But you get it softened up. So
you're well softened at that point, I think. Yeah.
Tenderized.
Yep. So that's stage 2. And then stage 3 is the Gladiator stage, which has FTS and FAL points. I'm not going to try and explain all the points scoring of all this stuff because I'll be frank, I don't quite understand it all. But there's FTS and FAL points. on a lap of temples and towers, the intermediate points at the rooftop KOM, castle KOM, and everybody's, oh, sorry, it's FTS points at rooftop KOM, FTS points at castle KOM, and FAL points at temple KOM. So that makes for interesting tactics, especially team tactics
Yeah, potentially.
to get FTS points. So
And these are by the old Zwift categories, A, B, C, D, right?
Yes. Yeah. So these are the Zwift category enforcement categories. So ZFTP and ZMAP.
Yep.
Well, definitely not a bike swap on that last one with Temple. FTS, I could see it, but FAL, definitely not.
not for FAL, but only on
Yeah.
lap 2. Well, it says 1 lap. So why does it say lap 2?
Yeah. I'm wondering the same. Well,
I don't remember that route well enough. There might be some lead in. Again, this is a month away, so maybe at some point we'll talk more about this if a bunch of us are doing it or something.
After we figure it out, and
Yeah.
maybe we can ask Marceline who's done it before.
Yeah. But yeah, really good event. There's all like female categories and open co-ed categories, so lots of opportunities to get in some sort of early new year racing in a shorter stage race than doing something like Ecro or
Yeah.
that's the old
So I
chasing.
think
What's the other one? Flamme Rouge.
Flamme Rouge, yeah. No, so the only thing I'm hoping doesn't happen is that too many women bleed off into the open. Because
I think it's a men's only, I thought.
it may be
I-
men's only. That is actually something that I was very skeptical of ZRL season 1, and then it worked really well by the time we actually did it. So
Yeah, I think I saw something that said Tour of Spartacus is the men's
Yeah.
only version of the
Oh.
thing.
okay, so
Yeah.
so women's only, men's only. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the whole thing is coming from, the women's only, I think I like that.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess let's be clear. The reason we want that to not be women in the men's one is not because we are feeling like offended by women racing against men. It's
No.
because we want more women racing in the women's category, so they're populated, so it's more fun.
Yes.
And
to
it's
see
having a
women.
bigger race. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Exactly.
no, yeah, no, it is
Exactly.
definitely. Yeah, this is support of the women's only category, which
Right.
we don't have enough really
Exactly.
good women's only races. Yeah.
Yep. Although this one's been going like for several years, and I think it does pretty good. So this is definitely, this is just, if you're race curious, if you want to get in a quality race, this is the one to get into, I think, for a series especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you see from time to time. For instance, tomorrow is Team Fearless 9th annual Women's Team Championship. So there have been a few one-off events, but yearly events for only women. So it keeps continuing every year. So it's positive. Same with the dingers. The women's ladder is still doing its own thing.
And it's right after the Rafa Festive 500, so your fitness is going to be peak performance.
Yeah, that's exactly how that works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just take the first off, and then you're ready to go.
Yeah. One day. That's all you need.
Got lots of volume. All right, and then we'll move on to Round the Horn, which is we are going to do our Zwiftmas wish list. So what do we want from Zwift this Christmas? We're going to lead off with Craig, because Craig posted in the forums his Zwift wish list. We'll let him do one, so the rest of us have something else to talk about. Maybe if he does all
Yeah,
four.
I did.
If he
go
wants
on
to
my
circle
standard-
back and do the rest of his list at the end, we'll let him do that. But
Yeah, I did do my standard rant when somebody put in the Zwift wish list on the forum. So yeah, 4 hours before the pod, and then Brent brought this up, and I sent the link to my post because it was pretty funny.
we do this
But
topic
number
every
one,
year, so
as has been not changed for the past 5 years, in-game points. Yeah, Race results with the points are what shows instead of just the finishing order. Live point standings can happen through the race, and yeah, they say I was using the a sauce mod in ZRL, and I had a live scoring the whole time. It's possible. So let's just put that on the panel on the left.
So when you were doing like this, like I don't know how long you've been using that mod for sauce, correct?
Yeah.
But like, do you like how much better is it? Like, how much more interesting is the racing?
I don't know if it's a lot more interesting. It's a little more interesting. Like really, I more or less do. It doesn't change what I'm doing a whole lot because I'm trying to maximize all the time, whether I'm already in first by a lot or not. Yeah, or I can be in last or in first, and I'm probably approaching every segment more or less the same anyway. But yeah, yeah, I do wish I could. Yeah, you'd love to have more, but there's only so much display space, because you can't in that Zen Master mod. You can you can go through the entry list and configure all the teams, and then you'll get team scoring. So it is really good, but it's yeah, there's a little bit of legwork required in it now for sure.
Yeah, I think it's just good to know. Even if, like I said, Craig, you raise the same way, but you actually have a better understanding where you are at the race. You're
Yeah.
thinking, I'm sprinting for everything, but where does this place me? Especially if you do multiple laps. So if you do like 12 your Glasgow crits or your whatever multiple laps, yeah, you're just blind after one lap.
Yeah, I'm always curious, like if it would enjoy it more if it was more tactical than just go hard every lap. You know what I mean? Like if I could see who was in front of me and how many points they had, and okay, I can like take this one off so I can get the next one, or I gotta go hard to bridge up because I gotta, the guy behind me is less points.
Yeah, so I'll say, yeah, the fact that I knew Chris and I were the top two definitely let me take that lap off to give me, and I'm like, yeah, if I do this, I can really have a chance to go for the finish. Because our buddy, our ATP buddy, Guy DeBell was in that race.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
and a couple other guys for me. Yeah, I've raced a few guys on the ATP team a bunch over the years. So,
Oh yeah, we all have. All right, let's go with Steph next. Steph, what's your Zwiftmas wish?
Yeah, I think the biggest one, because I think we all like that Zwift introduced the ZRS, but yeah, they need to make a decision. They just need to, either they want to focus with it and or the alternative option, but I don't think that's in the possibilities, because I know Tim Manson is doing other stuff. Just implement Philo for everything, but yeah, it's a nice tool. It's a nice tool, but like I said, I have the ZRS extension for Zwift Power, but my ZRS dashboard is empty because I do ladder racing mostly, and don't count for ZRS. So it's so stupid. Yeah. it's a bit weird. So that's we for instance, I think for HWR we also didn't go through with it, but I think it's missed opportunities because
Without engaging in like a doctoral thesis on computer science or web programming, is like, can anyone think of some technical reason why you couldn't just plunk ZRS or like the velo like scores from Swift Racing app into where ZRS is and have it achieve all the same functions? Like that data would just feed into there instead of those numbers that come out of ZRS. You just feed these other numbers in and then create categories out of them. I guess like because they want different categories, they don't want as many categories in ZRS as they have. Like I cannot, other than this sort of, we know better than some random guy on the internet thing that they see, although we hire him to do other things, sort of posturing that seems to be happening. I just cannot conceive of why they haven't just thrown in the towel and gone with a thing that 90% of the racing community seems to think works really good.
Yeah, and because like, oh well, if it was used for everything, there'd be exploits. Like, yeah, there's exploits. Yeah, there's people that manipulate Velo a little bit, but it's pretty good, and
Yeah.
they've done an awful lot on finding most of those. Like, if you perfectly ride the cutoff limit for power, like, yeah, there's things you could do if you really, really try, but it's pretty good. Yeah, okay, I've said before, the only explanation I've got is not invented here syndrome. So
Yeah, and I just like how it has a bigger number, because I think was I linked it in our chat to one of the other podcasts that demands for it, and it's okay, it's different boundaries, but I found sometimes it's still a bit weird that you're predicted on the same place, but you still lose points. Sometimes it's a bit weird, but I like it has actual movements. You have people, if you do bad, you lose, like, you can lose 40 points even in a ladder race, or a big improvement. That's mainly because of compound score, but I think one of our new ladder teammates, he did his second race in the last 90 days. He was like a 680 somewhere in bronze, and he shooted up all the way to 900 because he had the best 5-minute power. So I like those kind of movements. I still am on a semi downhill trajectory, but I think also I'm a big proponent for it is because I do ladder racing. That's tied to the Zwift racing, the score app. So you're more invested in it that way. But for instance, we're in ladder. We are with the Hammerheads. We are at the bottom of the EMEA ladder, but there's a lot of the ethos. The teams are trying, when they're setting up races, they are comparing against rosters, and they try to find that the two rosters quite evenly match to have a competitive ladder race for everyone. So that's also like that.
Yep. Well, that's a good one, I think. I mean, I know these are all going to be, because I mean, ZRS is over a year now, right? October of 2004.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and the problem, that's why I said I don't mind ZRS, but it's we're
not
now
developing.
It's not developing. We're a year in the future, and what has changed? Yeah, you see there are still lots of races and organizers that don't opt into it or can't opt to it. I don't know, because I know ladder for end of last year, I think, was still was able to use ZRS, but then it went away. So yeah,
All right, I agreed. That would be a nice Zwiftmas gift. All right, John, what do you got? What's your Zwiftmas wish?
I don't really have one. I think I'm in this manic downsizing mode, and we almost pulled the trigger on buying the Zwift ride and trainer to get rid of 2 bikes in the garage down to one, and we didn't do it. So maybe that's my Zwiftness wish is simplify stuff so that I don't have as much junk around.
That, I've got mine pretty dialed in to be minimalist, I guess, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm
both of them,
dialed in. That's the thing. It's like I like what I've got, and my wife is riding more, but there's another bike that's sitting there. It's like,
it is interesting though that they've, in terms of like downsizing, or whatever you call it, like the plays are basically dead. They moved
yeah,
totally away from
that's
it, and
I
just the
that
clicks, which
must have
still
Dead
been.
has
on. Yeah.
virtual steering and virtual shifting, but not with the plays anymore. So
Yeah, in hindsight, that must have been why they were sort of handing them out like candy
Yeah.
to people who
yeah,
were over 85 level,
yeah.
85th
With
level.
those Swift, the new Swift Click V2 with where you can steer with the thing is. Yeah, I think.
well, I'd be super curious what the like market data was that showed them that people like virtual shifting and they like
Yeah,
um steering, but they don't want those because they'll only fit on drop bars or they're too
right.
expensive maybe to make.
Are there that many Zwifters racing on BMX and mountain bikes and
Yeah.
I think there's some TT bikes. The other thing
Yeah,
was it didn't
yeah,
work great with Campagnolo or
yeah,
some
camping.
microshift, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, sure. It seemed to work really well for 90% plus of people.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, I think I like the Click 2, is that what we call it? But
yeah.
I like that being available, but I don't understand why they had to discontinue the play at the same time.
Yeah, I suspect the cost one is probably part of it, right? I'm sure the clicks are way cheaper to make than the plays. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
just way less risky in terms of all that stuff. And then I wouldn't be surprised at all if their market research showed that basically everybody who wants pairs got them and they're not
Yeah,
buying new ones. Like nobody, it's not like a video game controller where people are going to buy four to play
yeah.
with everyone in their house. They're not going to get custom colors and everything. So your markets, you bought them, you sold them, and that's all you're going to do. And
Well,
new
and
people coming
Zwift
in will,
users are really ornery as customers, and they're all going to complain when they stop working after they sweat into them for
hmm,
yeah,
7 hours a week for a year.
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
No, that's we're going up almost a year of the Zwift ride, and I don't have a Chris Greenland's signed experiment. I don't think happening with my bars. I'm still quite happy with the Zwift ride. Yeah, it's smooth. You have the virtual shifting, which is incredible. Just for racing, you don't have to worry about yeah, shifting and your chain gets pulled through or your gets issues. It's just so easy.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
You've been riding for a year. Have you had to like swap the chain or do any
No,
maintenance? Nothing. Okay.
I don't think I don't even and it I never I don't think I ever looped it before even so
You
yeah.
could maybe try that. That might help that sliding velo.
Yeah, but I heard that normally the chain and the drive team, I think when it first was released, they said it was able to do like 25,000 kilometers. So
Okay. It's a couple
that's
years.
for me 5 years
Yeah.
because I do around 4 or 5 thousand kilometers per year. So I'm if that's the case, I'm good to go for a while.
Yeah.
I think
Nice.
that's I mean, that's one of the advantages of that whole thing. I mean, number one, like when you're doing virtual shifting and stuff, is it's less moving parts, so there's less stuff to break. And
Mhm.
then because it's like just going on a trainer and you don't need to worry about things like weight and drag and all kinds of other stuff, it's like built with like way sturdier stuff than you get on a regular road bike, right? Because they don't need to worry about all that. So I'm sure it lasts way longer.
Yeah, nice single
Proportionally.
speed chain.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. Mine is going to be please, 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 Zwift, stop discriminating against Canadians. I've had enough. I've had enough. We want to buy plays, not through our good friends at WTRL who have to import them for us. We want to like participate in like the programs. There's 40 million people up here, and it's freaking winter for like 6 months of the year. As much fun as it is to go and ride fat bikes, you cannot ride them fast, and you cannot like really like do the same things you can do in terms of like hard pedaling and stuff because there's a lot of ice. You're gonna fall and hurt yourself. So like Canadians like to ride inside. I would bet per capita, Canada is like right there in terms of like people who ride Zwift.
I
So-
wonder
Usually at the top.
I wonder whole numbers. It might be pretty close.
It's
I don't
got to be
know.
close up there. I mean, I know we're not probably as much cyclists as some other places in Europe, particularly, but like the people who do it, I bet proportionally are there's tons in Canada.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
listen,
sure.
we're not without getting overly political. I understand that there's like increasingly some friction in the trading between like your one home base and us, but like that's enough. Like just import the stuff here from somewhere else. You're not making it there anyway, probably. So just import it straight to Canada. And then you don't have to pay tariffs on it or worry about whether or not you bribe the right politician in any particular currency or gold bars. You can just bring it in here. It'll be fine. It's mind-boggling to me. It's mind-boggling to me the number of times you read things and it's like available only in the US and Europe. And you're like, what is happening here right now? So please, please, please show a little love to your great friends in the Great White North. We would appreciate it. That's my Zwiftmas wish. With that, we will say thank you to John Keenan. Thank you to Stef at Jen. Thank you to Craig Martin. Thank you to everybody listening at home. Thank you to everyone doing your herd races. Enjoy your racing this weekend, everybody. We'll see you out there. Moo and good night.